Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, so today we're going to continue with chapter 4, which is non-price control. So last week we have looked at the government intervention into market, which fixing the price or setting the price or control the price of goods and services when it feel it's necessary to intervene. Alright, so price control, if we recap we do some recap Kita buat recap dulu. So the first one, price control yang pertama adalah price ceiling ataupun maximum price, and the second one is price floor ataupun minimum price, right? So today we're going to look at non-price control, which is the first one, which is indirect tax, indirect tax. Actually, non-price control consists of tax and also subsidy. So hari ni kita hanya akan tengok tax sahaja. Alright. Okay. So a tax, tax consists of direct and also indirect tax. There are two types of tax: direct tax and indirect tax. So what is direct tax? Direct tax is tax levied by the government directly to a person who cannot shift the burden of paying the tax to others, which means this is obligatory for the a person or an individual when their income has achieved certain level, so they have to pay direct tax. So direct tax ni bear to the individual itself. Maknanya bukan kepada orang lain, right? Maknanya dia yang kena bayar tax itu. Um, Example of direct tax is income tax and also corporate tax. So kalau kita ni dah bekerja, pendapatan kita melebihi daripada yang sepatutnya, yang level ataupun rate, dah melebihi satu level itu, jadi kerajaan akan mengarah kita untuk membayar tax. Okay, kita panggil direct tax. Dan sekiranya kita ada company, kita perlu membayar corporate tax. Okay, so what about indirect tax? So indirect tax yang kita nak fokus lah di sini. So we are talking about indirect tax for this chapter. Okay, so indirect tax is imposed by the government on producers, and they can or might shift or pass the burden of paying the tax to consumers, which means memang government impose a tax to the producers, tapi the producer have their right to pass or to share the burden of the tax to the consumers. So whenever we would like to buy the commodity, so kita nak beli commodity or services, goods and services, so we have to pay the tax, indirect tax. So what are the examples of indirect tax? Sales tax, services tax. Sebelum ni kita ada GST, so that is indirect tax. Other than that, we have excise tax, we have export duty, import duty, so on and so forth. So that is the example of indirect tax. Alright, now kita nak tengok what is the effect of indirect tax to the market equilibrium, to the price and also to the quantity. So you can look at page 107, figure 4.10, figure 4.10. So that is the effect of indirect tax to the market equilibrium. So when government impose tax to the producers, remember kalau tax kepada producer, impose kepada producer. So when government impose tax to the producer, so the cost for producing the goods and services will increase, because now the producer should pay the tax. So when the cost has increased, so what would be the response of the producers? They will reduce the supply of goods and services, right? So the supply of goods and services will shift. The supply curve will shift to the left. Will shift to the left, right? So when that happens, the equilibrium price will increase. and equilibrium quantity will reduce. So what is the effect of tax to the price and quantity? So of course the price will increase. Sebab tu when government impose GST, harga barang naik. Bila government increase sales tax, harga barang naik. So because of what? Because of this lah bila cost increase, supplier will reduce the supply and price will increase. Okay, price will increase, quantity will reduce. Okay, so if we look at the example on figure 4.10, the equilibrium price before tax is imposed is $16, and the equilibrium quantity is 6 units, right? So after government impose $4 of indirect tax, so of course the price will increase to $18 and quantity reduced to 4 units. So now, we would like to look at the analysis of the effect of the tax on market equilibrium. So the analysis part kita boleh tengok on page 108, table 4.2. Okay. So what happened? Kalau analysis kita akan mulakan dengan apa? Price before tax. So price before tax is $16. Quantity before tax is 6 unit. Price after tax is $18. Quantity after tax is 4 units. Alright? Okay. So kita nak tengok how much tax burden to the consumer, ataupun how much tax will be paid by the consumer and how much tax will be paid by the producer. Alright, so kalau kita nampak the blue shaded area, itu adalah area yang akan dibayar or liable to consumers. So consumers will pay how much? Kalau kita nak kata per unit tax, maknanya per unit ni kita tolak je $18, $18 minus $16, $2. So $2 is per unit tax paid by consumer, and the price below that, 16 to $14 itu adalah the grey shaded area, itu adalah burden to producer. So another $2 is the per unit tax paid by the producer. Alright, so altogether, how much is the tax imposed by the government per unit? Kalau per unit, kita ambil je $2 yang consumer bayar tadi, tambah dengan $2 producer bayar, dapat $4. Ataupun tolak $18 dengan $14, dapat $4. So that is the per unit tax. Okay, so we also would like to look at the total tax pula. So how much is the total tax paid by consumer? So kita akan ambil $2 tadi, darab dengan new quantity. So $2 times 4 unit is $8. Sama juga producer, $2 times 4 unit dapat $8. So that is total tax paid by producer. And how much is the revenue collected by the government? Total tax imposed by the government ataupun revenue that government collected from the tax. Jadi $4 darab dengan 4 units. So $4 darab dengan 4 units, kita dapat $16. Right? So that is how we analyze the tax on market equilibrium. Right, so this is the example where both consumer and producer pay the same amount of tax. And in the real cases, not necessarily both producer and consumer will pay the same amount of tax. Sometimes there are situation where consumer will pay more tax and sometimes producer will pay more tax. Right? So kita nak tengok selepas ini what will happen and how this happen lah. How this happen. Bila masa producer kena bayar lebih, bila masa consumer perlu bayar lebih.